Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video. So as I'm sure you guys heard when Season 7 released, we won't be getting the new stadium map or the XFAD-4 Draugr yet until around May when update 7.2 releases, but DICE have just revealed some of the other changes that 7.2 is going to bring with it. So there are some pretty significant changes to aircraft, engineers, the matchmaking system, and DICE have even decided to tease a new surprise map. So we're going to get into all of that in a second, but first of all, if you guys do enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit up that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future Battlefield videos. Lots more to come here on Season 7 and beyond, and as always, thank you guys so much for your support. So let's get stuck straight into these patch notes here, and the first section are going to be global changes. So first of all, they say, as part of the ongoing changes to our matchmaking system, players will now partake in each map twice before a map rotation occurs to ensure fair balance for all. And the dev note here says, the feedback we've been getting is that some of you consider certain maps to be either US or Russia sided, which can lead to an unfair experience. In order to combat this, similar to Breakthrough, you will now play each map on Conquest twice before rotating as normal. So this is kind of weird. I knew there were going to be some changes coming to the matchmaking system, and I had assumed that those changes were going to see us playing the same maps less, because God knows who wants to play maps like Renewal twice in a row. But with these changes, it sounds like we're going to have to play every single map twice, no matter what map it is. And God forbid the rotation then puts you on that same map again. That could potentially mean we're going to have to play Renewal or some of the other maps that people don't really enjoy all that much 4 times in a row. Honestly, I'm not really sure what DICE are thinking with this. I haven't really seen people complaining about one map being too US or Russia sided one way or the other, but hey, maybe that's just me. Now moving on to vehicles here. Engineers will now have unlimited rockets that will instead replenish over time, similar to Liz's G84 TGM. So I think this is a really good change. Liz has always been the best specialist in the game, and one of the reasons for that is that her launcher replenishes and you don't need to go and gather ammo, so you don't need to bother seeking out a support player in order to get on the ammo crate and restock your RPGs or restock your M5 recoilers, for example. And now that seems to be the case for the other engineers as well, surely leading to them to be a bit more picked than they have been in the past. And even better than that, it means that support players don't really need to bother running ammo boxes anymore. You don't even need to bother playing Angel anymore either, I guess, because who likes doing that anyway? Okay, moving on here. Following our recent changes to visual recoil and our efforts to make Battlefield 2042 a more immersive experience, the Penguins have been tampering with explosive munitions such as M5 rockets, RPGs, claymores, and mines, which may now spontaneously explode prematurely, resulting in possible damage or death to the user. So personally, I think this is a really cool change. I've always been a massive proponent of Battlefield going down a slightly more realistic route, a little bit more mil-simmy. Anything that makes the game more immersive and realistic gets a massive thumbs up from me. I'm sure this is going to lead to some frustrations though. Imagine you've got a helicopter on the enemy team who is absolutely farming you. You try to shoot it down with an M5 rocket and lo and behold, it just comes out of the launcher and explodes, possibly killing you. That's got to be frustrating, but hey, if it makes the game more immersive and realistic, I say let's go for it. Okay, next up we have a bit of a balance change here for the EBLC Ram. So they say the EBLC Ram has been underperforming. In order to give it some extra survivability, we are increasing the length of its APS ability from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. In addition, Smoke will now have 2 charges. So again, another great change here. The EBLC Ram, as we all know, is the least armored vehicle in the armored vehicles category, so it really only has APS to survive on. Once that's gone, you're just completely open to being destroyed. I don't know about you guys, but I find taking out the EBLC Ram, especially on the New Haven map, it's just way too easy. So really good changes there. Now this next change here, it wasn't necessarily in the patch notes, but a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to the Inside Battlefield podcast, and there they had Eddie, the lead vehicles designer, on there, and they were talking about some of the weapons that will be available for the XFAD. And as you guys saw in the Season 7 trailer, there's an EMP, there's also a incendiary bomb, that's what they confirmed it to be, an incendiary bomb which can be used against presumably infantry, but they definitely inferred that there were more weapons than that available to the XFAD. And so after a little bit of probing and a little bit of talking with the lead vehicle designer, he has revealed what that third weapon is. And according to him, it's a 5 kiloton nuclear device that will take out any enemies up to 370 meters. Now, you don't just spawn into a round with this thing. That would be kind of ridiculous if you could just go straight in there and kill everybody on the enemy team, but instead you actually get rewarded with this weapon in a certain round if you manage to get 100 kills in an air vehicle. So if you're somebody who's incredibly skilled in the Nightbird, you sweat your butt off and you manage to rack up 100 kills in a certain round, that will then unlock the 5 kiloton nuke, which you can then equip on the XFAD Draugr jet and drop it on the enemy team, most likely killing all of your enemies at once and allowing your team to move up the battlefield and take all of the enemy flags. Now, I'm not going to lie here, guys, I do worry that this might be a little bit overpowered, especially if it's only available to helicopter pilots who are able to rack up so many kills in a certain round. I also do feel like this is kind of ripping off Call of Duty and the tactical nuke thing a little bit, effectively ending the round, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let me know what you guys think of that below. And finally here, as a bit of a surprise, DICE have teased one of the new maps coming to the game as a surprise third map for Season 7. So this new map is called Icy Peak, and if you guys remember all the way back when the game launched, before they did the rework of Breakaway, there was a certain area of Breakaway, and it was actually one of the prominent points of the launch trailer that you could dive off of Damavan Peak style, and it seems that they're bringing back that section of the Breakaway map as its own map. I'm sure it's going to be somewhat fleshed out. They're going to make the facility that's on top of there into a little bit more of a CQB area, hopefully with some basement areas that go down into the mountain. Or maybe they're also going to add another flag down at the bottom so that you can base jump off of there, Damavan Peak style. And maybe if you're playing this map in Breakthrough, that's exactly how it's going to play out, just like Damavan Peak Rush did back in the good old Battlefield 3 days. I have to say though, again, a bit of a disappointment seeing them making yet another map from reused assets. But that being said, we weren't expecting a third map in Season 7 anyway, so that's always a nice surprise, I guess. And that is about going to do it, guys. If you made it all the way to the end of this one, give yourselves a pat on the back, leave me your comments down below and let me know exactly what you think about this video and all of the changes. But otherwise, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you all in the next video.